This is the Point of Life podcast with Reverend Ray Moore. Hey, everybody, it's Reverend Ray with another episode of the Point of Life Center. Today, I thought we'd talk about the chakras and the aura. What are chakras? Chakras are energy centers in the body. Some traditions say that there's 3 major chakras. Some say there's 12. Some say there's 144. So it really depends. But I'm just going to be focusing on the 7 major chakras in the body and a couple of minor chakras as well. A chakra is an energy center. It's about the size of between a quarter and a half dollar, if that gives you any kind of a reference point. And it spins in different directions. The outer layers of the chakra, if you were to look at me and look at my chakras, the outer layers spin counterclockwise to you. The inner layers spin clockwise. They can also open and close depending on how much information each one is trying to access or how much you're trying to access that information. It's kind of like the pupil of the eye will open. The more light there is, the tinier it gets. The less light, the more open the pupil becomes. And it's the same thing with the chakras. There are pictures of chakras. You'll see the 7 chakras lined up along the spine. A lot of pictures you'll see, it's basically all the colors of the rainbow. Rarely are they like that. Depends on what kind of information you're assessing, where you are in your growth periods. There's a lot of different factors as to how open or closed a chakra is and what colors they are. We'll go through these. I'm going to talk about the chakra position in the body, how you experience it on a physiological level, and what it connects into on the endocrine system. The endocrine system is the ductless glands in the body. The chakras are related in the sympathetic nervous system. It connects to different glands and organs. Starts with the first chakra, which is the root chakra. It's at the base of the spine, related to the prostate in men and the ovaries in women. It deals with self-preservation, survival, safety, survival of the species as well. If you've ever been in a really stressful situation or a fight and flight scenario, you get that tingling sensation at the base of your spine. That's your first chakra trying to gain access to that information to keep you alive. The second chakra is a little bit above it, just below the belly button. These run along the spine. The second chakra, it's your sexuality center. It's your emotional radar, emotions, and decision making. It connects to the spleen. The spleen generates insulin, helps with the digestive system. And it's kind of like the butterflies in your stomach. Have you ever had butterflies in your stomach when it's a nervous situation? The third chakra is in your solar plexus, right about here. This is the energy distribution center. In your third chakra, you have astral travel, out-of-body memory, out-of-body experience. That's dreaming. It hooks to the adrenal gland. And if you've been under a heavy deadline where something needs to be done, you need to get someplace and you're trying to get there, and you get that, your gut churns, that's your third chakra. It will open and close depending on shifting gears. If you're late to work and you finally get there, and get into your office or store and change hats. That's shifting gears. Your third chakra is with that as far as energy distribution goes. It's where you need the energy the most. The fourth chakra, it's in the sternum, right at the base of the sternum. This is your affinity center, your ability to love yourself or others. It's also your body being communication, the interloper between the upper and lower chakras. The lower chakras primarily deal with things on the body level. The first chakra, survival; second chakra, emotions; third chakra, willpower, energy distribution. Fourth chakra is kind of the neutral center. It hooks up to the hypothalamus gland, which generates the immunity in the body. And if you've been to a situation where you are really proud of what's happening, like a wedding or a celebration, or somebody's giving a really emotional speech, and you get that feeling of your chest opening up, that's your fourth chakra. Fifth chakra is at the cleft of the throat. This is your communication and your creativity center. Lots of stuff going on in here. Clairaudience, the ability to hear spirit. Telepathy, telepathy goes without saying. Yeah, broadband telepathy, telepathing to a big group of people. You've got narrowband telepathy. Your inner voice is in here, talking to your higher self. Difference between clairaudience and telepathy, both are communicating with spirit. Clairaudience is communicating with spirits without bodies, and telepathy is communicating to spirit with bodies. You can always tell the difference between a person who's highly telepathic and one who's highly clairaudient. Most people may have more ability in one area or the other. A telepathic person will, when you say something to them, they'll say, "What?" And a clairaudient person will say, "What?" That's because there's different channels. Telepathic channels go from the fifth chakra up along the jaw, around the eyes, back down around the cheeks, through the chin, and down to the throat, the fifth chakra. The clairaudient channels travel up the sides of the neck, go around the ears, and there's also a channel that goes across the forehead, goes back down into the fifth chakra. Lots of fun stuff there. The sixth chakra is in the center of the head, often referred to as the third eye. This is your intuition center, where you can see clearly. And it's also the place of, the fifth chakra also has abstract intuition. The sixth chakra has pragmatic intuition. Abstract intuition is being able to go from point A to point D through B and C. Pragmatic intuition is knowing who's on the phone before it rings without looking at your phone. Knowing which line to get into at the supermarket, which one's going to go quicker. If you ever get lost, which way to turn. Left, right, keep going straight. That's all pragmatic intuition. And then there's the seventh chakra, which resides at the top of the head. This is your knowingness center, knowing something off the top of your head. Oh, also the sixth chakra is where we get the phrase, when certainty is applied, it vibrates at a sky blue color. Knowing something, seeing something out of the blue, that's your chakra. If you've ever want to experience your sixth chakra, it's when you're trying to communicate with someone and they climb into the center of your head and you can't think straight. That's your sixth chakra closing down. The seventh chakra on top of the head, it's your knowingness center. It's your transmediumship center. Transmediumship is the ability to channel you or another being, which is kind of clever of cosmic consciousness to do that. With you have knowingness here, and then transmediumship right next to it. And whose information are you listening to? Then there's some other chakras work together for other abilities. Precognition, the ability to see the future and understand it. That's the sixth and the seventh working together harmoniously, looking at the future, knowing what it is. There's also chakras in your hands, in the palm of your hands right there. And this is where you have a lot of information on healing and communicating. People talk with their hands. They've got their hand chakras going. If you're around someone you're nervous around and your hands start sweating, you're healing that person. You're trying to change their energy. And that's all healing is, just changing the energy. Sixth, seventh, and hands. When you're doing a healing, you can see what needs to be done, know what needs to be done, and heal it. Telekinesis is another spiritual ability, moving objects without touching them. That's the sixth, seventh, and the first chakra. When you get a certain vibration going in each of those, working together in harmony, you can move things around. There's a lot with pitchers, baseball pitchers, quarterbacks, bowlers. Bowlers use telekinesis quite a bit. They put just enough spin on the ball and then move the ball into the pins. It's not uncommon. Are the seventh chakras. You do have chakras in your hands. You also have chakras in the arches of your feet. The feet chakra have the information on connecting to the planet, having a body. So you have these seven chakras. There's also the eighth chakra that sits above your head about a foot and a half, and that's depicted in artwork as halos. It's purely spiritual information. So you've got the seventh chakra, the eighth chakra, the hands, and the feet. I forgot to mention the sixth chakra. Well, the fifth chakra connects to the thyroid, sixth chakra to the pineal gland in the center of the head, and the seventh chakra to the pituitary gland, which regulates the entire body. As these chakras are spinning, they're exchanging information. There are channels that go between them, communication lines that go along the spine. You've got 4 lines in the back that connect the back of the chakras, and then 2 lines connecting the front of the chakras, and the energy flows naturally, sometimes unnaturally. That's another story. That's for another lesson. But so each of these chakras generate energy, and the energy goes out and around the body and creates the aura. So there are 7 chakras, so there are 7 layers of the aura. Some people refer these to the different bodies, the ethereal body, the emotional body, the power body, the feeling body, the communicative body, the on and on. The first layer, we have 7 layers of the aura. When I do a reading, we draw out the 7 layers like an outline of the body, and it makes for this big bubble. The layers of the aura are always moving at some pace. Each of the layers of the aura are what you're creating in your world. The first layer pertains to what you're creating on a body level, keeping the body safe, paying the mortgage, rent, the car payment, creating physical wellness for the body, general well-being, taking care of life. The second layer is what you're creating on an emotional level, relationships. These aren't all positive things. How am I going to navigate this negative relationship I have with this boss, supervisor? How am I going to deal with this group over here or that group over there. And I have these new friends. We're getting together. It's great. I'm really enjoying that. So you have all these different things happening in each layer, all these considerations. The third layer is your personal willpower, how much energy you're going to be putting into different projects, what you need to keep powering up, and all of your goals and your desires starting in that third layer. Not always, but primarily. The fourth layer is what you're creating joy and what's going on in your world, how you feel about who you are, how you see yourself. What's your capacity for this? What's your capacity for that? How much can you have? That's what you're creating in that fourth layer. The fifth layer is what you're creating on a communication and a creativity level. If you have different projects, how much time and energy you're expending on each one. If you're planning a vacation way up in 6 months from now, that'll be in your fifth chakra or fifth layer. That'll also be in your third layer. It could also be in your first layer. These different aspects of things that you're creating can be in different layers of the aura. The sixth layer of the aura is how you see yourself in the world, how you see the world out there and your place in it. If you know someone who's really good at hiding in plain sight, they've got good information on that sixth layer. And finally, the seventh layer is the outer layer of the aura. This is how the world sees you, what you put out there to show them who you are. Reflect as you change hats. You can change the colors of these aura, the layers of the aura, and different situations will vibrate at different colors as well. That's the aura and the chakras, the different spiritual abilities we have. Haven't really gone too deep into any of them. If this has been of value to you, if there's anything that you'd like to correct me on, feel free to leave a comment. If this has been of value, please feel free to subscribe. We're going to go into the life cycle of an incarnate being next time. Until then, this is Rev Ray from the Point of Life Center saying, go with God. Thank you for watching and listening to this Point of Life podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and hope you'll tune in for the next one. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you. Go with God.